we should go back to more classical acting and just fake it rather than torture your brain into believing something that isn't real.
Yeah.
And think about the people that are really good at method acting. Are they the most stable bunch you've ever heard of?
No, of course not.
No, they're fucking batshit.
Yeah. Well, I think
they're fucking batshit
I think there's
crazy, and they
levels.
should be because they are torturing their brains. Daniel Day-Lewis quit acting, retired. Famous method actor, famous torturing his soul, famous damaging his body, famous, I mean...
Well, here's the thing, though. So if you're, because I totally see what you mean. I think there's, because if the definition of acting, would you agree that the definition of acting is living truthfully in the imaginary circumstances of the world?
I wouldn't say living, because it's manufactured. It's not life. Living comes from life, and it's not an actual life. You are telling a story. Acting comes and goes all the way back to when we gathered around the fire to tell the tales of the day's hunt.
Yeah.
Those were the first actors.
Well, that was the first actors, but now it's evolved into something.
Right. It used to be like, you should have seen Tobar. Tobar had a great shot. Do it, Tobar. Do the thing. And he had to get up there and do his thing. And that was the first play. It was telling about the hunt. And now it's developed this thing. It's like, you have to call me Tobar for the rest of the day, and I can't talk to other people because I need to be in this mood. I'm gonna stare into a candle till my eyes get all messed up because I need to feel about that, and I'm not gonna sleep the night before, so my body is actually in danger of being unhealthy to tell a story.
Yeah, I think because here's the thing: if you'd go like Heath Ledger was known for not turning it off, and then after the movie couldn't turn it off and medication and stuff. So I think there's levels to it. Cause like based on how I approach acting is like to make it real, right? That's where it, like the coach Aaron Spicer that has resonated most with my style and, to make something real, in these scenes. So I think, if you're going in 100%, that's where it gets super, and maybe even 80% or 70 or something like that. In my experience, I've used, my past experiences to help develop feelings, but sometimes I can imagine the fake circumstances and be able to get there based on what's going on in this person's world, still tricking my body and my brain. However, based on the performance that resonates with other people, based on how real it is, can make a positive impact in how they view it based on, based on what's ever going on in the movie or in the scene. They could see somebody else's side of the story versus if it went back to like, the 1950s acting where it was, not as real, I guess.
It was performance acting.
Performative
acting. But back to my golf analogy, there are plenty of actors out there who don't have many clubs. They have one.
Yeah.
They have the method acting club. And they're failing when they try to do a comedy. And they are failing when they try to do something written by David Mamet or trying to do something classical. It's not working because it's not the club you need to do something. To do a Neil Simon play, you need to understand rhythm and beat.
Sure.
And to understand comedy comes in threes and do all these things that he does. And because what you're doing is you're acting a piece of music that someone has written.
Yeah.
And if you think, well, I'm going to switch the lines around, and my character wouldn't say that, so I'm going to cross out this line because I'm so deep in this thing, and I've got my backstory of when I had my sand kicked in the face in the sandbox when my character was 4, even though it's not in the script. I'm just going to add everything and add everything and add everything.
Yeah.
It's becoming revered that we love these actors that torture themselves and are basket cases.
Yeah.
We love saying like, oh, Shia LaBeouf, he's really out there, really gets into his character. Okay. Like, should we really be revering these people that maybe won't be with us as long as some of the other actors because of this torturous behavior to their brains?
Yeah, I can totally see that. I think it's got to be a balance, and this is coming from an extremist, because you do see those people, and they're the ones that people are like, oh my God, the performance and all that kind of stuff.
We love it. We revere it. We put the method at the top, and there are no other.
There
are no other clubs.
Yeah, it's like, well, he's method. So, but I would say, because if it's a short-term sacrifice and it's not detrimental to your health, and that short-term sacrifice allows you to live truthfully in this moment, and then on the other side of that, once you're able to recoup fully and get those emotions out, which also could be therapeutic to yourself, and help you be more evolved as a person based on playing somebody else and looking at the world through their lens, then that could potentially make you a more evolved human afterwards, and also help share that story so other people could view it as well. So,
I mean, as far as being an emotional thing, but I'm talking about from a teaching perspective.
Yeah.
When we're teaching young kids, because it will all start with the kids, with the youth again.
Yeah, especially because they have the biggest imaginations, because they don't have the society coming down on them yet and changing their whole perspective and having all these outside voices. They're where they are and they can play.
Yeah,
and they think, look, it's an astronaut.
And in the method acting, it's called sense memory. You're drawing upon a sense memory, something that happened to you that you can tap into. What 9-year-old has a sense memory of anything?
Right. Yeah, it's more imagination.
They haven't had a chance to have experiences to tap into, so they should just fake it, and they do, which is why we give kids more leeway for not being tortured method actors of, we love the tortured in our society. We love tortured artists. We love tortured musicians. We love tortured painters. We love tortured poets. We love people who bleed for our enjoyment, and we thank them for it by buying their stuff.
Yeah,
love it.
Yeah, have you ever seen the audition of the kid in E.T.?
Elijah Wood? No, that's not Elijah Wood. Nope, I can't remember the name of the kid.
Yeah, have you ever seen the audition?
No.
It's and that's what's interesting, and I totally hear what you're saying.
Actually, no, I have seen it because they make him cry.
Yeah, he cries in it, and it's like, so it's like at that point, it's like, wow, look at how evolved he is already, or and I think it's not sense memory. At that point, he's probably just thinking he's seeing an alien and being like, oh my God, I'm losing him. And he's able to tap into it because he has this great imagination.
And he hasn't been tortured by the rest of the world yet.
Yeah. So what would you say to that? If he's just making it real, but it's based on his imagination, is it more about the teaching of this is method and this is the greatest and this is what you got to do and you should do this always? Because I see, even with people got to call you on set and I'm not going to get out of character ever. That's super dangerous. So I agree with you. If it's 100% or close to 100% and you're hurting yourself and you're not gonna be able to pull yourself out, because after doing a scene in acting class, if it's super dark scene, I'm still the next day I'm kind of tired. It's sad.
If it's a heavy emotional scene talking about a rich subject or something, or a terrifying subject or whatever, that can damage you. But as far as kids go, and it bugs me, I can't remember that kid's name.
Henry Thomas.
Henry Thomas.
Yes.
Thank you for that. See that, producer?
Boom.
Kablam. Yeah, when you tap into a kid, you have to do everything you can. It's the big rule about acting in theater. You don't act with animals or children.
Yeah.
But with kids, you've got to, however gets you home. Whatever you need to do to get the kid to do the thing is what you do. And I don't know whether or not that's good or bad, because there were no children back in the Shakespearean days. You cast adults as kids. And you cast men as women. I mean, but having actual kids doing actual crying experiences about torturous things is a sticky wicket.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that sticky wicket. Nobody calls it that anymore.